Hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of the 3 by the Sea Designs podcast. My name is Kim and I am part of the 3 by the Sea Designs team along with my mom Dreama and my sister Becky. We have an online Etsy shop where we sell our handmade project bags, stitch markers, and hand-dyed yarn. And welcome to episode 18. This is a knitting podcast primarily, but we talk about our shop news and anything that we're currently working on. I show off finished objects and works in progress and anything and everything 3 by the Sea related that happens here. Today is Friday, October 21st, 2022, and I have a lot to talk about and show you. It's only been 2 weeks since I podcast, and that actually feels like it's been, normally I've tried to stay on a 2-week schedule in the past, but that doesn't always happen the way it's supposed to because of life. So it feels good to sit down just 2 weeks later and connect with you all and kind of share a little bit about what has been going on. So let's get started. I do have a little bit of shop news. I don't have any finished objects to show you. But I do have a couple of whips that I've been working on, and I want to share some exciting news about the sweater weather socks that I've been designing, and a little bit of sort of vlog type style video at the end of this episode where I showed you I'm going to show you how I dye swatches when we get a new dye color. So that's kind of exciting, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff at the end of this video. So I really hope you enjoy it. Grab something yummy to drink and grab your projects and let's get settled in. Some 3 by the Sea shop news. Last podcast, I showed you the Autumn Bouquet mini set that we added to the shop, as well as a couple of other things. I can't even remember what I showed. I think it was like stitch markers. Oh, and our Charlie Brown mystery sock set. So those went in a couple of weeks ago. I was just looking at the calendar to remember when. I don't know. It's all a blur right now because we're trying to get ready for some things that are coming up. The Autumn Bouquet mini set did sell out, but we had several people ask us if it would be coming back, and we weren't planning on adding any more back into the shop, but since so many people asked about it, we said, yes, we will add more back in. So we did add a few more sets. They're currently in the shop now. I'll put a picture up here of what the Autumn Bouquet mini set looks like. It's beautiful. 5 20-gram tonal colors, and we also added back to the shop our super popular She Sells Seashells sock set. It is a 100-gram full skein of this beautiful blue color. I'll put a picture up of it here, as well as a 20-gram mini in our Starfish colorway. So those two things have been added back into the shop. Let's see what else. As far as shop stuff, we only have a few things left. We do have a couple of our October Garden colorway on our coquina base, which is an MCN. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So we have a few of those left on that base. We have a few of our Old Red Barn colorway. So beautiful. This is also on our coquina base, which is the MCN merino cashmere nylon. And we have triple berry tart. Ooh, sorry, shaking the camera. We have a couple of triple berry tarts left. I can't remember the bases that they're on. I know we have a couple of sock sets, which are on our Sanibel fingering weight with the mini. And then I think we have one on the MCN and one on DK. There's not very many left. So I just wanted to kind of show those to you and let you know that we will not be dyeing any more of these colors, at least for the rest of this year, from our fall collection. Now, if there is anything that you want in our variegated colors and you want 3 or more of them, we can do a custom order for you if we have that base in stock of our undyed yarn. We don't carry a lot of undyed yarn in stock right now, but if we do have it in stock, we can do a custom order for you if you don't see what you want. So just send us an email or message us on Etsy and let us know if you have a question about something, and we will try our best to work with you on that. As far as tonals go, we have a few tonals left in varying bases. We do have a couple of our weathered wood. I love this tonal. This one was so popular. This is on our Sanibel fingering weight 75-25 base. We have, I think, 1 or 2 of these left, and maybe some on mohair. And then a couple of other tonals that I wanted to show you are, these were from our Christmas in July collection that we did, I guess. This is Enchanted, and this is Sprig. They're so beautiful. So if you're needing any Christmas colored yarns and you're looking for tonals, we have these. And that's pretty much it. Like, we don't really have a lot left, which is a good thing for us. But also, you know, I just wanted everybody to know that there's not much left. Go check out, see what we have, because we are preparing for our next collection to come out in November. I'll talk more about that on a future episode, probably the next one, which would be November. So 2 weeks from now will be November 4th. I will try to have a preview of our collection, because we're going to try to do another update for Christmas and holiday and winter themed stuff in the middle of November. We were hoping to update by Saturday, November 12th, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. I don't know. Everything's a little tentative right now, up in the air as far as the actual collection date update for the shop, but there will be project bags and stitch markers and new yarn. So be on the lookout for a video showing off all of that. We're really excited about what's to come. All right, let's talk about our spooky soiree Halloween countdown calendar. So a few months ago, we actually maybe even over the summer, we put together this beautiful countdown calendar, and we called it a spooky soiree. And you had options. You could purchase it was all a mystery. You didn't know what any of it looked like. So we had options for a yarn sock set, where you got a 20-gram mini with a 100-gram full skein of yarn. We had an option for a mystery project bag, and we had the option for the countdown calendar. It was a 13-day Halloween stitch marker countdown calendar that started on October 19th, and you went through 13 days all the way to Halloween, October 31st. And it was so fun to design and to put together and to collaborate with Becky and my mom about everything. And we just had a lot of fun with it. And everything sold out. We don't have any left. We've had several people ask us if we can dye more of the yarn or if we have any of the yarns and bags left. Unfortunately, we do not. And because of our tight schedule with Christmas, and the holidays and just our next update coming up, we aren't going to be able to dye anymore. However, next year we will bring the yarn back, maybe even the project bags. I don't know. I'll have to text Becky and my mom about that one. But the yarn for sure will be back next year. So I'm going to put some pictures up here. If you, for some reason, have not opened your calendar and you do not want to be spoiled by any pictures, this is day 3 of the calendar, so you should have opened it by now. But if you haven't, I know we had a few people that ordered theirs like last week. So you should have gotten it by now. But if you haven't for some reason, or you haven't opened it, look away, because I'm going to show you some pictures. I don't have any of them to show you like in person, because we literally sold everything that we made. So I'm going to just put some pictures up here of the spooky soiree. So again, if you haven't opened yours yet, look away now for at least a couple of minutes. So this was our inspiration picture for the yarn mystery sock set, and then this was our inspiration picture for the entire calendar, including the bag and the stitch marker calendar. So when you open your box, you got this envelope that said "Open me first," and it was this beautiful invitation that Ginny Jeffers got mysteriously dropped off on her doorstep. Day 1's stitch marker was the little candy charm. I'll put a picture up of it here. Day 2 was the skeleton key. And day 3's was the mask that she wears to the party. So who's intrigued by this story so far? If you're reading it along with us, if you got the calendar, it's so fun, and it's just something a little bit different that we hope that you will enjoy, and as well as the stitch markers and the yarn and the project bag. So make sure you are posting your pictures. If you're posting your pictures on Instagram or Facebook, make sure that you use the hashtag 3bythesea designs or hashtag spooky soiree, or both, because we would love to see you opening your calendars and using the yarn, picking out a project, using the project bags, all of that stuff. So please tag us, or at least use the hashtag so we can see it all and share it on our own Instagram page. And thank you again to everyone who purchased one and who has been enjoying this along with us, because it was a lot of fun to do. I hate to talk about Christmas right now because it's in the midst of the Halloween season, but we do have 2 amazing Advent stitch marker calendars in the shop right now. I've talked about these a little bit before, but I wanted to talk about them again because there's not that many left, especially of the It's a Wonderful Life calendar. So these are 2 separate calendars. The It's a Wonderful Life one is a full 25-day calendar where you will open something on day 1 all the way through December 1st, all the way through December 25th. And it is a stitch marker advent calendar, just like the spooky soiree. Now, I won't have a story that goes with it because the story is the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, the classic Christmas movie. But we will follow the movie through the Advent calendar. So you'll get to experience the movie as you open your mystery stitch markers every day. It also has an option for a mystery yarn sock set to go with it. So you can purchase that in addition to the calendar. So there's not that many of those left. We've had it on sale since the summertime, and it's not all Christmas stitch markers. In fact, a lot of them are not Christmas stitch markers. There is a good mix of holiday and non-holiday type of stitch markers and progress keepers. Our 12-day advent calendar the theme is called An Elegant Christmas, and this one is also a Christmas stitch marker calendar, but it has a good mix of Christmas and non-Christmas stitch markers, a lot of rhinestones and sparkly things, and just really kind of classic and a little bit of vintage looking charms. Just really absolute beautiful stitch markers. And with that one, you get 2 notions tools as well. So if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, as far as a calendar goes, you could open the 12-day calendar every other day, or you could wait until the 12th or the 13th of December and start opening that through Christmas Day. So there's some options there for you if you're looking for a fun stitch marker advent type of calendar for the upcoming season. The last thing for shop news that I wanted to mention is our Charlie Brown mystery sock set. It's based on Charlie Brown Christmas. It's called Good Grief, It's Christmas. And it is up in our Etsy shop right now. It is a pre-order, and it is for a 100-gram skein of fingering weight yarn, as well as a coordinating 20-gram mini. And this is the inspiration pictures that we came up with for the sock set. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really excited about that. So I wanted to let everybody know that those are still available for pre-order. Don't forget, they will ship about a month from now, probably a little before that, 3 to 3.5 weeks, because we want you to have them before Thanksgiving. So many of you have already purchased it and taken advantage of that. We get a lot of questions about like after we've done a pre-order and they're sold out, we get a lot of questions on, will you be able to add any more? And it's so, I hate saying no, but we have to, because we put them up for pre-order for a certain amount of time. We only dye that amount, and we don't usually have any extras of things. So if you want to take advantage of this pre-order, please do, because I don't think that there will be any available. We may dye a few extra, but I can't guarantee that. So if you want it and you want to make sure you get one, go ahead and purchase it now. We try to make our pre-order mystery sets like extra special. You guys saw the one that we did for the Halloween, the spooky soiree. And so look at our inspiration pictures, because we take a lot of that, influences the colorway a lot for our mystery sets. That's it for shop news. Whew, I feel like that was a lot, and I was talking really fast to try to get through it all, but I wanted to cover everything, and I think I did. If you guys have any questions, you can always message us, leave a comment below, or send us an email. All of our contact information and everything is down below in the description box, as well as everything that we talk about here. Anything that I can link to, any shops or patterns, anything like that, I always put in the description box below. If you have any questions, just let us know. I do not have any finished objects this time, but I do have a couple of works in progress that I wanted to show you guys. One of them you have seen before, and one of them you have not. The first one I'm going to show you is my Glacial light tee, and it's in my fun VW project bag, the beachy VW buses. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and it's called the Glacial light tee. I have been working on this for a while now, and I'm so close to being finished. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. The only thing I have left to do is the ribbing around the neck and the ribbing around the arms, and then I'm finished. I think that's all I have left to do. So, the last podcast, I didn't even show this because I had virtually no progress. So after that podcast, I was like, I am getting this thing finished and off the needles. So technically it is off the needles, even though it's not finished. But so I finished the back panel, and then I was working on the front panel, and you have to seam the tops together with, oh, what was it called? 3-needle bind off. I'd never done that before. I looked up a tutorial from Very Pink Knits, like on YouTube, and it was really easy and actually kind of fun. Like, I enjoyed doing this 3-needle bind off, and the seams look so nice on this type of bind off. I love it. So both of the shoulders are seamed that way. And now I have to pick up stitches around the neck and around the armholes to do the ribbing, and it's not even much ribbing at all. It's like 1 inch worth of 1x1 ribbing, I think it is, and then it's finished, other than being washed and blocked. So this is, let me stand up a little bit and show you what it will look like. This is, I thought it looked a little short, but I know once it's blocked, it will stretch because it's superwash yarn. So it will definitely stretch out, but it's meant to be not cropped, but it's meant to be a shorter tee. So this was so fun to do. I'm glad that it's almost finished because it's still warm enough here that I can wear this now. And it actually looks kind of wintry a little bit. So I thought for a minute about making the sleeves longer, because you guys know I don't like super short sleeves because of my arms. So, but then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave it and make it just the way it is. So what else can I say about this? Oh, the yarn is from Emma's Yarn. I've talked about the details of all of this on a previous episode, but I will link her shop below. She's also a dyer in Florida. So all 4 colors are from Emma's Yarn. So I'm really excited about getting this finished. It's so close. And next episode, I will be, hopefully, unless something crazy happens, I will be wearing this washed and blocked and completely finished. My second whip is another pair of scrappy socks. Last episode, I showed you my finished Halloween scrappy socks that I made the String of Lights pattern by Witchery. And I told you that I had immediate plans for another scrappy cast on, and I had all of my row 1 minis in this project bag. You can see I've used quite a few of them. Can't even see them down there now. So I picked out a bunch of like fall colored traditional, not just traditional, but very fall colored yarns, and I'm making another pair of scrappy stripy socks. I'm doing them a little bit differently than I did my Halloween ones. So let me show you what I have so far, and then I'll talk about what I did specifically. So these are what they look like. I'm actually knitting them 2 at a time, but on separate needles. And I'm making them match, of course. I mean, I don't care about if socks necessarily match, but since I'm doing these 2 at a time, they, obviously I'm making them match. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm 8 stripes in on this one. And same on this one. This is just the 8th stripe. I love how they look so far. They're so pretty. Got my cute fall stitch markers. Okay, so for these, I am following the String of Lights pattern again by Witchery, and but I did a different cuff. This cuff I did a knit 2 purl 1 cuff. So I did a knit 2 purl 1 cuff, and I just added, because knit 2 purl 1 is doesn't give you an even cast on number. So I think I cast on 63 of the knit 2 purl 1, and then I just added an extra stitch when I got to the leg to make it 64 stitches. On the Halloween scrappy stripy socks that I did the stripes every 8 rounds. And for this, I'm doing the stripes every 10 rounds. So that's another modification. So I did 10 rounds. I did 20 rounds on the cuff, 10 rounds of each color. And then this is where the leg starts. And I've just done 10 rounds for each color. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So far I've done 60. I think I'm gonna go to like 80 rounds for the leg. And it's funny because I normally do not like long socks, but lately I've been on a long sock kick, and I thought these might be cool to wear with like with boots or something, like not tall boots, but like, I don't know, I just wanted them to be longer so I could wear them with boots if I wanted to, or just have like really long, you know, squishy socks for this time of year. I mean, you can wear these anytime, but especially for the fall. And I just love all of the colors together. These are all my row 1 minis that I've been enjoying using my row 1 minis, because I haven't, you know, even though I've had that subscription, that monthly subscription for a while now, I haven't really used a ton of my minis. So I've been really enjoying using them and picking out all of the colors for them. So that is my other works in progress, and I'm glad I'm doing them 2 at a time, even though sometimes I get second sock syndrome, where you've knit the first sock and then you lose your desire to knit the second sock. That does happen to me sometimes. But with my Halloween socks in this pattern, I did not get that. However, I thought it would be fun to do these 2 at a time, but on separate needles. I've come to the conclusion that I don't like doing 2 at a time on the same needles, because it's fiddly and the yarn gets tangled, and I don't prefer that. But if you do get second sock syndrome sometimes, where you don't want to knit the second sock, try doing them this way, where you're still doing them 2 at a time, but they're completely separate. So when I finish one stripe, I immediately put it onto the second sock, and I just go back and forth like that. And then once I get to the heel, I'll do this heel, and then I'll do this heel, and then I'll just keep going like that until they're both finished. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying working on those. I forgot to say that I was going to announce the giveaway winner from last episode for the Halloween the Halloween colored scraps that I had left from my stripy scrappy socks. So I am going to put that winner's name here. I'm actually going to draw 2 winners, because where did that yarn go? I put all of the yarn into this really cute organza bag, but I have enough to actually do 2 giveaway winners, because there's about 200 grams of yarn in here. So I thought I would split it up into 2 winners. So I'll put both of your names on the screen here. You'll each get a bag of Halloween colored scraps that I'll mail to you. If you win, email us at 3bytheseadesigns@gmail.com. The link to our email is in the description box below, and just let us know that you won and your shipping information, and we will get these mailed out to you. I'm so excited to gift these to someone that, or to two people that wanted to make some Halloween scraps, or Halloween socks, or Halloween, just could use the scraps for whatever reason. There's a good amount of each color in here, so I will divide these into two and send those off to the two winners. So thank you guys for participating in that giveaway, and congratulations to the two of you who won. So don't forget to get in contact with us through our email. Some super exciting news that I have for my sweater weather sock pattern that I've been designing is that it is officially ready for testers. So I was waiting on testers because I had to finish writing up the pattern, and I wanted to knit the sock one more time with the pattern going all the way down the foot instead of stopping before the heel. So I just wanted to see what it would look like. I wanted to have the two different options. So the pattern will have both options in the pattern, whether you want to knit the pattern all the way down through the sock, or if you want to stop right before the heel and then just do the little pop of design at the bottom. This is what the original one looks like. I've shown this one to you before. So this is the sweater weather sock pattern that I've been designing. If you've watched the last few episodes, you have seen these over and over again. So the design goes all the way down the leg, and then I stopped it right before the heel, and then I did a little pop of design at right before the toe. And I actually prefer it this way. But I also love it with the design on the foot, and I know a lot of you do as well. So I wanted to knit it in our Triple Berry Tart colorway, and this is on our Coquina base, which is an MCN. So it's super soft because it has the cashmere in it. And this is what the pattern looks like going all the way down the foot. And the plain stockinette on the bottom half of the foot, obviously. So I love it. It looks pretty both ways. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't, I was worried about the needle size not being big enough when you're knitting on the foot because of the pattern, but it's fine actually. So I think it's okay to do it either way. I am going to need testers for this. I will put a link below in the description box to the tester application page. It's just a little survey that I need everyone to take if you want to test for these. Basically with your information and what size you would want to knit and what yarn you would use, just so I can have a mix of testers for these. It's going to be a small, medium, large pattern, your basic small, medium, large sizes for socks. I wrote the pattern for either, I wrote the pattern for Magic Loop, using the Magic Loop method, but I knit these on the 9-inch circulars just because I wanted to see, can you do it on either one? And I will say that it was a lot easier for me to knit the pattern on Magic Loop than on the 9-inch circulars, but it was totally doable on the 9-inch circulars. It was just a little more fiddly because of the design. So I would recommend knitting them on the Magic Loop method, but you know, if you want to try them on 9-inch circulars, that is completely fine. I was able to do it as well. So what else? If you do want to test, I would need one of the socks done, only one of them done, by November 11th. So the testing window is going to go out today, which is the October 21st. I'm going to decide by the like late next week, Thursday, Friday. And then basically you would have, if you do want to test, I would need you to test one sock in about 2 weeks, because I would like to have this pattern come out like mid-November. So go ahead and apply, and in the next few days, I will be picking testers. And you can use any type of yarn as far as the color goes. It is a fingering weight yarn. I mean, it does call for fingering weight yarn, but you could use a variegated color like this. You could use a more tonal color, or you could use a self-striping color. It would be interesting to see a wide range of that. So the testing would need to be finished by the November 11th or 12th, around that time. I'll have all the details when I finalize who's going to be testing, and I'm going to make a tester group on Facebook. I think on Facebook, so everyone can post questions and pictures, and I'll be in there if you have any questions about the pattern. So what I would recommend for these is to, whatever normal size needle you use to knit socks, I would use that for everything but the leg. For example, I normally knit my socks with a US 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. So I knit the cuff with that. And then when I started the leg, I went up one needle size to a 2.75 millimeter. And then when I was finished with the leg, I was starting the heel, I immediately went back to the 2.5 millimeter for the entire rest of the sock. So that's what I recommend. It's kind of like when you're doing color work on a sock, or color work on any project, really. The patterns always recommend that you go up at least one needle size, sometimes 2 needle sizes, to get your tension and your gauge where you want it to be. It's the exact same thing with these socks. No, this isn't color work, but the way the stitches are designed, it goes in and out and puckers. And so just like with color work, you want to go up a needle size for the leg portion of the sock. And that's whether you're testing it or not. If you end up purchasing the pattern later on and you want to knit them, I would recommend going up a needle size, possibly even 2 needle sizes, just for the leg section. And then whether you make the pattern on the foot or not, or you just do it plain like this one, I would just go back to your normal needle size right after the leg is finished and you're getting ready to start your heel. So that's exciting, right? The testing will, you know, like I said, be about a 2-week turnaround time for testing just the one sock. I mean, if you can finish both socks in that time, that would be awesome. And then hopefully, if all of the testing goes well, then I will have this pattern available for purchase mid-November. I'm really hoping for like the 13th or 14th of November to get this pattern out into the world. It will be available in our Etsy shop, as well as if I can get my Lovecrafts account set up. I don't have any other accounts anywhere, so but it's definitely going to be in our Etsy shop, which is good because we're also going to be updating the shop with new items around that time as well. So you can just pick up a pattern as well if you are interested in making them and you like the pattern. So what else can I say about it? I'm so excited. A little bit nervous because it's my first sock design and that I've ever tried to publish anyway. I always just like do weird designs on things, and not weird, but like I always try to do my own spin on things. And I've never been confident enough to publish any of the things that I've designed until now. I don't know why. I just really liked this one so much, and I thought, since I'm doing the podcast, let me show it and see what everybody else thinks. And the response and the feedback has been so great. So that really kind of gave me that boost of confidence that I needed to say, you know what, I'm gonna publish this thing and see what happens. So as long as testing goes well, which I think it will, then the sweater weather socks pattern will be published very soon and available for purchase. The reason why I called it the sweater weather pattern, if you're new, is because the stitch pattern reminded me of something you would see on a sweater. And who knows, maybe one day, not that I can design sweaters because I barely even make them, but that pattern, I just see it going across like the yoke of a sweater or a hat, fingerless mitts, like this 8-row repeat. It's just so pretty, and I could see one day maybe having a bundle pattern where there is matching gloves or matching mittens, a matching hat, maybe even a matching cowl with this sweater weather design. So thank you all for all of your feedback and, oh, sorry, knocking the camera again, for all your feedback and positive encouragement to me and advice, and I appreciate all of it. And I'm excited to see where this goes. So if you're interested in testing, please click on the link below, answer the questions on that little survey, and then I will be picking testers very soon. If I do end up picking you, I'll email you and let you know that you've been picked, and I'll email you the pattern. And if you don't get picked, it has nothing to do with anything other than I only have, I'm only going to have so many testers. But I want to have a few for each size in the adult, small, medium, and large. So this was the color that I used for the socks. This is our triple berry tart on our coquina base, the merino cashmere nylon, and it is so soft. I gotta make the second sock, and I have enough because I measured them. So you need about if you're gonna do like a full size leg, you need 1 full skein of fingering weight yarn for that. All right, so let's talk about something I have for future plans. You've probably seen all of these before. So after I finish my Glacial Light Tea, which I'll be done in just like a couple of days, I'm going to work on the Radvent cardigan that I showed last time. And I also want to cast on a sweater. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a pullover or a cardigan or what, and I have 3 different choices of yarn to pick from, and I needed some advice on what to do. My immediate draw is this yarn. This is something that I have shown you before. This is something that I dyed last year. This is a gold stellina base fingering weight yarn. And this is a Surrey alpaca silk blend that is so soft and I love it. And we have something exciting coming to the shop when we do our shop update in November with this base as well as stellina. So that's the only sneak peek you're gonna get, or not sneak peek, but a hint at something that's new coming to the shop. We will have new bases. and they may have something to do with these two bases right here. Anyway, so my immediate draw is to knit this, and I talked about doing something with these before, maybe a ranunculus pullover or a Love Notes sweater. I don't know. So these are, I would hold them double. So that is one option. Another option I have is to use this really pretty yarn that I dyed, I think earlier this year. It is a non-superwash. Is it non-superwash? I don't remember. It's a fingering weight. Oh, maybe it doesn't have nylon in it. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up and see. But it's this sort of marled yarn that I dyed this really pretty sort of chestnut brown color. And I have 4 of these. So I was thinking of doing maybe like a cardigan or something with these. It's really soft, really lightweight. It would be perfect for Florida. So that's my second option. And then the other yarn that I have are these gorgeous, let's see if I can get them all together. It's this yarn. It's also on a stellina. It's a fingering weight. And the way that I dyed it is it will fade. Let's see, is that right? Hang on a second. Yeah. So this is the lightest one, and it will fade into darker colors. There's the next one. And it's this really pretty sort of camel and charcoal and chocolate colors. So, so pretty. And it would make such a pretty fade for a sweater. So these are also a contender as well. So I want to do, so I don't know, you guys help me decide. Is it the fade next, or the alpaca silk stellina held together in this really pretty sagey color, or the marled brown and black yarn for a cardigan? I don't know. I really want to use one of these next. I mean, I'm gonna make something with all of them, but I need help deciding what's next. So what do you think I should make next? Like, if you have any patterns, suggestions, or if you would like to see a particular yarn that I use next, comment and let me know what you would like. Comment and let me know what you would like for me to use. And maybe I'll tally those up, and whichever one gets the most votes, I will cast something on with those. And if you, like I said, have any pattern recommendations, I want to make something for the upcoming colder season. It doesn't get like super cold here, but it does get cold enough to where you need a sweater, a pullover, a cardigan, stuff like that. So I would like to do something with those next. The last part of our podcast today is going to be the vloggy part that I was talking about earlier, about how I wanted to show you what it's like for us when we dye a swatch of for our new colors that we get. So every time we get a new dye, we swatch it using different depths of shade. And this is what it ends up looking like at the end. So I'm going to show you now the process of what I go through and how I do it, and our wall of beautiful swatches that we have so far. And then I'll come back and show you the final results of what you saw in the video. Whenever we get a new dye color, we like to do a depth of shade swatch. So these are all from the same dye color. We just swatched them to see what they look like at their different depths of shade, different amounts of dye on the yarn. So we keep these as our sort of swatch wall. And when we are trying to coordinate our colors, we pull these out. We use these a lot actually for the for coordinating our tonals, and if we're trying to match a bag to a yarn colorway, that type of thing. And I try to keep them organized, but it doesn't always happen. So today we're gonna be doing some swatching, and I thought you guys might enjoy seeing the process. So today we're swatching chestnut, crimson, raspberry, spearmint breeze, frozen, and platinum. I put the designated amount of dye powder in and filled it with some water. These are all like a fixed amount, so I know how much is in there. We use these jars to swatch them. So since there's 5 colors, there's 5 different jars. So I can actually do 3 colors per pan. So that's why I'm doing, sorry for all the rattling. I have it sitting on top of the other pans, but I'll get everything set up and then I'll show you how it looks. For our swatches, we use 10-gram minis. So I'm just going to let these soak for a few minutes in some regular water. Okay, so since I have 6 different colors, I need 6 sets of 5 jars because we're doing 5 shades of each color. So in my pans, I have set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that is the 6th one. Then I will fill these with water. So this is just a flat sort of cooling rack that you can get like on Amazon, and they fit nicely, perfectly in the bottom of these long catering pans. And this is just raised up about 1/2 inch or so, and it keeps the jars from touching the bottom of the pan so that they don't crack. So it's a great way to, if you're dyeing minis, you could do it this way, if you were dyeing like a bunch of different colors, or it's a great way to do the swatches, and I can do 6 colors at one time. That's all I have the jars for, but that's a pretty good amount. So let's get set up and go. Okay, so you can see immediately that we went from the lightest shade all the way down to the darkest shade. So this is the gray color. Looks purple, doesn't it? So we will do this for each dye color, 6 of them, and then they're going to go into those pans. You also do not want to forget your citric acid, because that is what binds the dye to the yarn, that and heat. So I'm adding about a teaspoon of citric acid to each one. Okay, so I have all 6 dyes separated out. Their depths of shade are going down the pan, so the lighter shades here, and they get darker as you go down. I have the yarn here. I soaked it for a little while, so it's still wet. I just squeegeed it out, and we're going to add them in to each color. add some water to these just to give me some more dye so they're not so concentrated. So they are all dry, all twisted up, and I keep them on these zip ties, or I keep them on a shower curtain ring, and I tag them with the name of them and the depth of shade that I do. And not everyone gets the same depth of shade because some colors are more saturated than others. So that's why I always write it down. This is how raspberry turned out. So gorgeous. Would that not be a beautiful fade in and of itself, like in a sweater or a blanket or a shawl? This one is platinum. These, there, you could probably see the different shades better that way. These are all dyes from various companies. Dharma, Jacquard. I think that's the only two in this one. So this is, whoops, that was not turned the right way. This is spearmint. This is how the brown one turned out. This was chestnut. So gorgeous. This one is crimson. And this one was frozen. So, so pretty. So see, when you get a dye color, if you're ever interested in dyeing, when you get a dye color, you really have a limitless, possibilities with that color. It's not just one color, like it's not just one blue. We do a range of depths of shades, but you could even go a little bit lighter. You could go a little bit darker. You could go in between these. So, but we just like to see the 5 different colors, the range of colors that we usually gravitate towards. And then, so really, even though this was 6 dye colors, it's actually 30 colors. And this is what we pull from when we're trying to match things or when we're trying to come up with new colorways. We sit down together and just see what looks good together. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time though, having these swatches has been so, so helpful to us. And we have a library of colors that we can pull from and dye them exactly the way that they look in our swatches, because we know what formula we used. And it's a great way if you're a dyer to have a range of colors. And what's also really cool is that you can mix dyes together and then do a spread of depth of shade that way and get truly unique colors, because you can mix 2 dyes together. This one obviously is my favorite out of all of them that I swatched in that batch because it's purple and my favorite color. So, so that's that. That's how we do that. The one that I showed that was, where did I put that one? I had some dye left over from those from those swatches. So I thought it would be fun to mix them together and do like a one-of-a-kind colorway. And I showed you the process of how I did it, and this is how it turned out. It's so pretty. It's got all the colors in it except for the brown. I didn't put the brown in here. This is on a 75-25, I think. Superwash merino nylon blend. It's a fingering weight yarn. But I would like to give this away to someone. This is not a base that we have in the shop. This is one that we had some of, and then we couldn't get more of it, so we couldn't put this base in the shop because that wholesaler is no longer selling yarn. If you'd like to win this in the giveaway, then comment below. I don't know, anything to do with the podcast, and just say that you would like to be entered into the giveaway, and then I'll pick someone the next time. All right, guys, I think that's it for this episode. I don't know how long this is gonna be because of the vloggy part. So I hope it's not too long. Maybe I can edit it down into a reasonable amount of time, but I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I had so much fun actually doing this episode. Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out about testing the sock pattern and just all of your wonderful comments so far. If you are interested in testing the sweater weather socks, please click on the link below in the description box to take you to the questionnaire that I have everyone filling out. And if you're picked, I will email you and let you know. And if you would like to enter the giveaway for this yarn, then comment that you would like to enter the giveaway for this. Let me know what you think of it, how it turned out. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And just comment and say hi. Let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.